stand-up comedy. Just, give me a second. You see this stool, right? I mean, every comedian has a stool, but we barely use them. I mean, look. Never see you guys do that during the show, right? I guess that's why it's called sit down, stand up, and not sit down. Now that that horrible joke is out of the way. I'd like to talk about family. I love my family. They're great. They put the fun in dysfunctional. Like this one time, I was out with my dad back to school shopping, and he said that we needed pens. That might seem normal to you people, but I can guarantee you that my family will never need pens. Why? My dad is a pen hoarder. He has a million fancy pens up in his office. So I said, Dad, we don't need any pens. I can just borrow one of yours. And he's like, but those are my pens. Well, can't you share? No, get your own pen. Wasn't until about a week later I found out his pen addiction goes deeper. It turns out that while my mother was pregnant with my sister in the hospital, all my dad could think about was the doctor's pen. He was all like, how could I acquire such a nice pen? Was it expensive? Where could I find it? Oh, 1 second. Push, honey, push! Exercise thing called the Buttmaster. Needless to say, she didn't talk to him for a month. Yeah, my mom's great, but like some other stereotypical parents, she doesn't really get teenage slang. Like, the other day, me and my sister were getting ready for school, and she was like, good luck at school today, Hugo! We looked at each other and we were like, who's Hugo? Turns out she was trying to say YOLO. You only live once. So after that little misunderstanding, we were carted away to this magical place called school. And by magical place, I mean magical place where happiness goes to die magical place. So yeah, worst of all, it was a Monday. Let me sum up for you how much I hate Mondays. I hate Mondays so much, I often fantasize about going back in time, just to knock some sense in the guy that invented Mondays. Of course, Tuesdays will become the new Mondays, but come on, just let me have this. So yeah, it was a Monday, I was tired, I was barely listening to the teacher lecturing some kids, threatening to punish the whole class. I've always had a theory about why teachers do that. And I think it's because they don't know their students' names. I mean, you see a bunch of kids screwing around and your teacher's all like, you, no, Jimmy, no, him, her, everyone! Worst of all is when they call you by the wrong name. You're just, sitting there, minding your own business, and they're like, Mark, please read problem 13. Twisting your thumbs. You slowly realize everybody's looking at you. Who, me? Yes, you, Mark. My name's Mike. Okay, Maury. Do I need to spell it out for you? You giving me lip, boy? No, I'm just trying to introduce myself. Detention, Miguel. Dag nabbit! Yeah, detention. Never really got detention either. I mean, you go in there and the teacher's all like, do you know what you did? I'm not sure, but I'm guessing the reason I'm here is because I just love school so much. So, you take your seat and you look to your left and there's some guy putting tattoos on his arm with a Sharpie pen. Then you look to your left and then there's another kid sharpening his pencil into a shiv with his pocket knife. Yeah, that's a pretty picture. And then the teacher's all like, what's the problem? person's attention usually to not passing in their homework. If I had a penny for every time I heard a crappy excuse for why a student didn't have their homework, let's just say I wouldn't have to go to school anymore. Here are some of my favorites. My cat ate my homework. My little sister ate my homework. Heck, I ate my homework! What I really can't stand is when teachers don't know how to use technology. You see them trying to bring up a PowerPoint by poking the screen with a stick. What manner of witchcraft is this? It is a mystery box with words and pictures. Oh, it says that there are single women in my area waiting to meet me. One of the most boring things, though, is when a teacher goes way too slow. In 1922, the United States was in the state of economic. Just rub a cheese grater against my face and get it over with. What's worse, though, is that my teacher goes way too fast, trying to cram everything into the last segment of class. All right, class, homework tonight. I want you to read 6 short stories, answer that questions, create haiku, deep the meaning of life, then write a poster about it. Free! Whoa! Slow down there, speed racer Stu. I didn't know people could talk at light speed. I think my paper would set fire if I tried to write that down. Oh, yeah, stuff like that gets you excited for summer. Ah, summer. It's one of the only things that keeps you from jumping off the top of the windmill. Let's call it a eventful summer. First day of summer, my dad asked me to put some hot dogs on the grill so that we can have some dinner when he gets home. So I turn on the barbecue and go in for a couple of minutes, and we'll wait for it to warm up. I come back outside and it's on fire. Panic time! So I run around for about 30 minutes looking for a fire extinguisher, and I'm about to call the fire department when I realize all I have to do is shut it off and just close the lid. Derp! So I do that, and feeling so proud of myself, I go, crisis averted. What smells like searing flesh? Oh! And that's how I ended up with blisters for a month. So yeah, I spend most of my summer up in Maine because my sister has a job as a cashier at a department store. And does she meet some weirdos? She was taking care of this one French guy, and he was all like, "Do you like the French boys?" Oh. Then another strange customer comes up to her and says, "You and my son would have great children together." Who says that? Really? Yeah. And this one time, my aunt and my mother were at this little restaurant called Fisherman's Catch. And who shows up? George Bush Sr. and his wife, Barbara Bush. I swear I'm not making this up. There were bodyguards and everything. So my mom had to restrain her because all she wanted to do was run up and say hi to them. And if my mom wasn't as strong as she is, she probably would have gotten over there and been tackled by the Secret Service. She's approaching the eagle. Take her down! Yeah. So Maine's great. Love the beaches. Love everything about them. Except for the fact that every time my dad takes his shirt off, someone yells, "Hope Proletaire!" Can't tell you how many times someone's told him to take his sweater off when he's just naturally hairy. Or stepped on him thinking he was a rug or a towel. So, yeah, that would bring us back to school. I'd like to say that school is physically straining as well as mentally. Case in point, my backpack could kill a man. Oh, don't believe me? Imagine carrying that around every day. I'm gonna grow real weird. I'm gonna have these buff arms so I'm peeking complete moron.